Hey y'all, I'm so stupid excited to share with y'all one of my most famous recipes that I have been working on for a year and a half to make it plant-based whole food, and I have finally mastered it. It is the best, moist, wonderful, almost got like a chewy crust on the outside like a glazed banana bread. Yes, I said it, banana bread, and it's truly the best. It's so good, look at this bread, y'all. Actually, I'm not gonna take a bite. Let's just begin. I'm so excited. I wanna show y'all. Let's begin. Now let's begin. Hey y'all, how about today? Plant-based foodies. How to make them. Let's begin. Okay, y'all, I am so excited to finally share this recipe with y'all. It's one that I'm kind of famous for before we were plant-based. And I've been working and trying to make it plant-based because frankly I missed this recipe. It's banana bread, and I know there's 1,000 recipes out there for banana bread and you're thinking it's not that exciting. I promise you my banana bread is the best. Ask anybody. So I'm really excited. We're gonna start, get your water warm. I meant to already have that done. You're gonna make 2 flax eggs. So it's 2 tablespoons of ground flax. And we'll scrape that. To that, we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of warm water. Let's give it a stir. Splash it all over the kitchen. Set it aside so it can congeal. Okay, so now in a very large bowl, well not very large, but a big bowl, you're going to sift together 2 cups of flour. This is just white whole wheat. You can use any kind of all-purpose flour that you are into. This is 2 tablespoons of baking soda. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Give that a little sift. Perfect. And you're going to take another bowl, and in this bowl you're going to mix 1 cup of almond butter. You could use cashew butter if you have a nut allergy, because this is the butter replacement, okay? And you're going to mix in 1 cup, this is pure cane sugar, 1 cup of pure cane sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. I know it seems like a lot, but this makes 2 big loaves, so it's not like all this goes under 1 loaf. So now after you got it pretty smooth, feel free to use a hand mixer or a stand mixer to really work it in there. I use Steve. We're gonna add some applesauce. This is a 1/2 cup of applesauce. And then we're going to add our flax eggs. Now my original recipe had 4 eggs in it. And here's y'all a little tip. If you replace eggs with flax eggs in your recipe, particularly baked goods, don't do any more than 2 flax eggs. So that's why the applesauce is in there, because applesauce is also an egg replacer. Because it just changes the texture of the finished product, not so much the dough. And you won't be happy if you're trying to rewrite some of your old recipes. So make sure 2 flax eggs max. And then it's 1/4 cup of applesauce per egg replacement. look at disease. And then this is 2 cups of just mashed bananas. Bananas! Everybody sings the banana song when they hear bananas. I'm just gonna mix this up, and it gets kind of gross looking. You can add walnuts. I've never added walnuts to mine, but you can if you're gonna add some nuts, like a cup of chopped nuts. Some people like nuts in their banana bread. Me, not so much. So it's gonna look weird, and it's gonna look gross, but that's perfect. And don't worry about if your nut butter and your sugar seems kind of dry. As long as it's not like hard dry, it's fine, because all this moisture is gonna soften it right up. So see, it looks kind of, I don't know, like it was already eaten. But it's good. Mix it all in, because you don't want somebody to get a big clump of flax egg or nut butter. And then we're gonna add the wet to the dry. Oh, preheat your oven at 350. I should probably tell you all that zero time. I'm gonna scrape all this off. I remember one time I made this recipe for my neighbor. She was, Rosemary was in her 80s maybe. And I made 2 loaves, so I gave her a whole loaf. You know, just be nice. She called Steve, or she called and Steve answered the phone. And I could hear her from across the room screaming, "This is the best banana bread I've ever tasted." It is the best. And I get the extra egg. It just makes it moist. You know, most banana bread is very dry, and this is not. So now you don't want to overmix this part, but you do want to make sure it's all well incorporated. Just kind of fold it in. Now, you're just gonna use 2 regular sized loaf pans. Normally we would like grease these and flour these, but we don't use grease. And so I just put some parchment paper down. Feel totally free to use like those silicone loaf pans or whatever, that would be great. So you just wanna evenly, let me get a big spoon. Like dispense this between the, you know, split it up between the 2. As even as possible. Okay, so this one I kind of, it's not as elegant, it's ugly on the side. But anyway, so even them out a little bit, and you're gonna bake it for like 60 to 70 minutes. I know it seems like a really long time, but I start checking mine about 45 minutes in, start checking it, because you know, oven times are different, altitudes are different. So about 45-minute mark, you're gonna start poking it with the toothpick, and then you're gonna let it cool in the pan for 5 minutes after you take them out. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven and see y'all in about an hour. Okay, so mine took about 60 minutes. Just check it, the toothpick come out clean. Remember, in the pan, 5 minutes, and then let it cool completely on a rack. And this is what you have, y'all. Isn't that beautiful? Mine's not completely cool, but as we all know, I'm impatient. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a piece so y'all can see how beautiful and moist this yummy, yummy plant-based whole food banana bread is. It is perfect. And I cannot wait for y'all to try it. Wait, that looks kind of threatening. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe and share and try the recipes, y'all. Be blessed.